How did a man who wanted to be a musician, who earned money in high school and college because he was a sight reader, became one of the greatest surgeons of all time? Remarkably, the journey into medicine for this senior who rocks, Alvin Crawford, MD, started with a football scholarship, but he never played football a day in his life. Interesting story. In the 1950s, sought-after football players could bring a girlfriend to college free tuition. Dr. Crawford's brother brought him instead. And that's how he could afford an undergraduate education from Tennessee State University, graduating cum laude in chemistry and music. Again, his brother stepped in to guide him and suggested he go into medicine. After that, he joined the Navy and became paid as a Navy senior medical student, allowing him to be paid a salary his senior year, which began a 33-year career in the Navy. 13 years on active duty and 20 years in the reserves. What was your rank? Captain. Captain. Thank you. In 1964, Dr. Crawford became the first African American to graduate from the University of Tennessee College of Medicine. Over the years, he has consistently collected accolades and honors. And he said, quote, I have made achievement a lifestyle and not a goal. I have made achievement a lifestyle and not a goal. Consider this abbreviated list, however, of some of those accolades. He's the only surgeon to be named in the top 10 educators in the first 100 years of Cincinnati Children's Hospital, has made the list of the country's best doctors yearly since 1996, received the Daniel Drake Medal from the UC College of Medicine, its highest academic honor, received the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity's Laurel Wreath Award, its highest award for a member of that fraternity for service, and was recently inducted in 2014 to the class of Great Living Cincinnatians. In yeoman's terms, Dr. Alvin Crawford has had a profound effect on children around the world. He was the director of the orthopedic surgery at Cincinnati Children's for 29 years, and is the founding director of the Crawford Spine Center. He is renowned for taking complex, highly technical procedures and revolutionizing the surgery so that it could be done with scopes, making it quicker recovery with much less trauma. As a clinician, he has performed over 27,000 procedures, many of which were directed towards scoliosis. Dr. Crawford has provided care to underserved children around the world, especially those with club feet and severe spine deformities. His teaching in the Third World has brought residents, fellows, attending surgeons and nurses to Cincinnati as fellows and observers to further their study of that condition. Dr. Crawford has lectured and or performed surgery in over 43 countries and trained 57 international fellows in pediatric orthopedics and spine surgery. But if you ask Dr. Crawford which children garner the most attention from him, he'll tell you it's his 3 grandchildren, whom he adores. He may have taken his brother's advice about going into medicine, but it is his wife of over 50 years, Alva Jean, who has been his greatest influence in his life. He has said, quote, my wife is responsible for everything I've done and everything that I will ever do. She leads me and guides me in every way, end quote. Did she write that? Today, Dr. Crawford is Professor Emeritus in Pediatrics and Orthopedic Surgery at the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine and a member of the Dean's Advisory Council at the University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music. And he has a, excuse me, and remember I said he initially majored in chemistry and music? Well, he's now honing his skills on the clarinet and is playing with a number of musical groups in Cincinnati. Pro Seniors is honored to recognize Alvin Crawford, MD, as a senior who rocks.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to sort of share some things with you. If we could start that first one. President Bush, the first Bush, did something that was intriguing to me, and he did it at age 75, and I said, well, that's not so bad. But he said he would do something, and so let's just go through it. So two of my residents and a fellow, we were in Dubai, and they said, you've got to join the Dubai Sky Club. I said, you have to be kidding me. And they said, no, you can do it. Well, my residents, it's really something, they've taken a beating. And I have a pediatric resident here tonight who says she's taken a beating. But anyway, they know that I will be up for the challenge, so I couldn't turn it down. So you want to move on? So we went to this area you can see on the right there, and they got me into this plane, and there's a tail there. I did tandem, and they said you have to jump down. If you jump up, there's a tail here. It'll take your head off, but that's not a problem. But anyway, so we'll keep going. And so this is tandem, keep going. And we're over Dubai. This is a landfill there. Keep going. Okay, and then if you've been to the Burj Khalifa, it was at one time the tallest building in the world. And it looks like a toothpick. That's what it is. So we're several miles up, and it was really fun. Next one, to land. That was it. Could we have the next one? So I've been through this. So people know that I sort of will rise to a challenge. This is not a typo. It's rocking. Not rocking. It's rocking. So if we could go to the next one. They challenged me to something else.
Watch my lips when I'm telling you this, yeah, it's all for you. Every flick of the wrist, every swing of the hips, yeah, it's all for you. When I toss my head, throw my head in the air, yeah, it's all for you. Every hook, every clip, every touch of the zip, yeah, it's all for you. I'm spending hours hurrying cold. I want this woman, I need the rose blood. Smell lips, why I'm telling you this, yeah, all for you. When I move real slow, babe, I want you to know, yeah, it's all for you. Every bump, every grind, I think that you'll find, yeah, it's all for you. All for you.
And now if you go. You know, as he said earlier, it's gotten to the stage where I know where things are. I think I do, but if you'd ask me where they are, I've been very, 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 very fortunate. I've gotten some things that perhaps I worked a bit for them, but got them. But at the end of the day, in my business, when you've developed instrumentation, et cetera, and you work for a university, you can't promote your own devices, so you have to develop a conflict of interest statement stating what your conflicts are. And this is just blatant commercialism. That's the Crawford Spine Center, and those are my first two. And if you'll put the next one up. At the end of the day, you have to determine whether it's from grants, what's it, consultant, shareholders. Children developed this thing called intellectual property several years ago. So I have no intellectual property, but they get all the money. But anyway, what happens is that I stand by, ready to serve the penal code, whatever, for giving these three individuals anything they ask for. And I mean, unabashedly, in addition to that, the genetics are unbelievable. And I looked at it one day and I said, my God, it's the chins. They're all the same as they mature. The little one is just getting it now, so I'm comfortable with that. So anyway, I think you've heard about my life. You've seen a bit of it. I've been very, very, very fortunate. But success is no accident. Actually, my practice career, children's, gave me an unfair advantage into it, and that I captured children, and in a unique way, and that I gave them respect, I gave them autonomy. There are kids that write me letters from college that I talk to them instead of their parents. Some parents are a little bit hurt with that, but that gave them that, and I think that's important. I think that if you can give any human respect, empathy, you can treat them fair, depending, irrespective of their age, can give them motivation and determination and perseverance, and I like that. And with my residents and fellows, it's been a good ride. And I found out that it's pretty much amazing what you can do and accomplish if you don't care who gets the credit. And they're all of them accredited on papers, on procedures, and it is unbelievable what happens when you give. It all comes back. So anyone who's thinking about that, do it. It's a pleasure to be here. As they say, sometimes it's a pleasure to be anywhere, but it's a pleasure to be here tonight. And I thank you for having me, okay?